Boom! That scared him, I bet. Hey, welcome to Chillin Tuesday on the 20th of June, 2023. Hello, look who's here. I'm Thundercloud and there's...
Skye.
Hey! Yeah, she's projecting her voice tonight. She's got a loud voice now. She's been away, she's come back and with a new voice.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. What am I doing tonight? I'm going to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast here, the Kamilaroi and the Bambai people, to acknowledge that sovereignty's never been ceded. Tonight, I'm going to be reading from The Beauteous Terrorist and other poems by A. Bundarra, and in brackets, Sir Henry Parkes, who was 3 times Premier of New South Wales before Australia was federated in 1901. And, yeah, big politician who gave the Tenterfield oration in 1889 in October there, and it was the first call to the public to take the different states, or the different, colonies, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, etc., and pull them all together under a federation. And there was even discussion of getting rid of all the states at the time, moving borders, whatever. And the reason was because Tenterfield in the north of New South Wales here was close to Queensland, and most of its trade was through Queensland, but there were these prohibitive tariffs. So one of the main parts of our the original Constitution of Australia was about having free trade, free movement without any borders or restrictions throughout the whole continent. And written at a time when there was no consideration of the sovereignty, the unceded sovereignty of the First Nations people. And now we are at a junction again where our government's trying to make them recognise them and have them pulled under the Corporation of Australia and take away their sovereignty. So hopefully, and I'll make a call out to, like Henry Parkes did, to the people of Australia. Isn't it time that we got rid of all of our states, got rid of all of our governments here in Australia and ripped up the Constitution, started again with the First Nations-led republic, recognised with them as the rightful sovereigns, not the King or Queen of England as the sovereign. Sovereign, what is it? We all sovereigns. Make our own sovereign decisions as free humans, according to the greater will of greatness, as we're born with free will. Yeah. So here we go. The Beauteous Terrorist. Now this is really interesting because this was published there was different in different things like the Bulletin and stuff like this, but this version here was published by George Robertson and Co in 1885 in Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide and Brisbane. And the Beauteous Terrorist is quite interesting and relevant to today because it's about Sophia Petrovskaya, who was a member of the Russian royal family, sort of a descendant of Alexander the Great, Alexander I, and she was born just after he died, just after the First Crimean War, which was much about England and France and the Ottoman Empire banding together to bully on Russia, and pretty much kind of like what they're doing today with America and the Ukraine bullying on Russia since you know, they overthrew the democratically elected government there in the Ukraine and installed their own right-wing fascist dictator. But the Beauteous Terrorist, then there's an introduction to this that Henry Parkes provides before his prose, or his poem actually. It's quite a long poem, so I'm going to go that. Now, Skye here, now she's closer to home. She's got Come Back to Bundarra, published in 1981, I believe. And it was, yeah, Bundarra is a bit west of Gwydir, about 30 minutes west of Gwydir, out that way, or a bit further. Yeah. And it's, yeah, a cute little town, I believe. I've never been there, so you can take me. Yeah, good. The Skye's taking me, yeah, she just said, yeah. Good. They have an orange festival or something, I think. Okay. We might have missed it, but yeah, anyway. The Beauteous Terrorist, she was beautiful. It was not the beauty which dazzles at first sight, but that which fascinates the more it is regarded. A blonde with a pair of blue eyes, serious and penetrating under a broad and spacious forehead. A delicate little nose, a charming mouth, which showed, when she smiled, 2 rows of very fine white teeth. That could be you. See, your teeth, your eyes. I knew I'd get you to show you your teeth. Was, however, her countenance as a whole, which was the attraction. There was something brisk, vivacious, and at the same time ingenuous in her rounded face. She was girlhood personified, notwithstanding her 26 years. She seemed scarcely 18. A small, slender and very graceful figure, and as a voice as charming and silvery and sympathetic as could be, heightened the illusion. It became almost a certainty when she began to laugh, which very often happened. She had the ready laugh of a girl and laughed with so much heartiness and so unaffectedly that she seemed a young lass of 16. She gave little thought to her appearance. She dressed in the most modest manner and perhaps did not even know what dress or ornament was becoming or unbecoming. She had a passion for neatness, and in this she was as punctilious as a Swiss girl. She was very fond of children and was an excellent schoolmistress. There was, however, another office which she filled even better, that of nurse. When any of her friends fell ill, Sophia was the first to offer herself for this difficult duty. And she performed that duty with such gentleness, cheerfulness, and patience that she won the hearts of her patients for all time. Yet this woman, with such an innocent appearance and with such a sweet and affectionate disposition, was one of the most dreaded members of the terrorist party. Sophia Perovskaya belonged like Kropotkin to the highest aristocracy of Russia. The Perovsky are the younger branch of the family of the famous Rasumuski, the morganatic husband of the Empress Elizabeth, daughter of Peter the Great, who occupied the throne of Russia in the middle of the last century, from 1741, sorry, not Alexander the Great, Peter the Great, sorry, 1741 to 1762. Such was the family to which this woman belonged, who gave such a tremendous blow to Tsarism, and that's from Underground Russia. And this book here was written in, what were we going to say? 1885. Well, the thing is, what she did next, she was responsible for making a few bombs, and she got them thrown under the carriage of Alexander II of Russia and was assassinated. And he was assassinated. Yeah, she was basically, her and her gang, the terrorists, she was a terrorist. She was hanged as the first female terrorist in Russia.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. They caught her, per se. Here we go. This is the poem now by Henry Parkes. Soft as the morning's pearly light, where yet may rise the thundercloud, her gentle face was ever bright with noble thought and purpose. Proud, dreamt ye that those divine blue eyes, that beauty free from pride or blame, were fashioned but to terrorise, a despot's power of sword and flame. Beware those beauteous lineaments of girlhood shrine, a force sublime which moulds to fearful use events and dares arraign imperial crime. A fear was in the peasant's eyes, a pale smoke both tongue and hand, a network of police and spies o'erspread the tyrant-tortured land. The dungeon swallowed all our best, who next should perish none could say. 1,000 victims of arrest were torn from us one summer day. The judges, sworn to guard the right, interpreted the tyrant's bent, though cleared by witness of light. 'Twas hard to save the innocent. The Senate, in its ordered state, might free its voice, inspired no awe. Acquittal did not liberate the autocrat, annulled the law. The tender, sweet enthusiast, the bright-eyed maid with hero's soul, had watched the thickening shadow cast o'er the land, all the land in death and dole. Her girlhood's secret studies, latent earthly in her princely home, her converse with the good and great, the lessons taught by Greece and Rome, had nerved her heart to action strong. She joined the few who dared the worst, resolved to strike the monster wrong, to wrestle with the thing accursed. Pale freedom's devotees, whose creed was vengeance, who in silent trust prepared themselves to bear and bleed and bravely die if die they must. What mattered so the despot's doom, and freedom's advent nearer drew? Their chosen path was through the gloom, the perils of their choice they knew. To give their all, even life, were sweet, not half as Aeneas gave, so they might see the work complete or feel it finished in the grave. The early rose of womanhood had scarce illumined her angel face, when mongst conspirators she stood, the bravest in the darkest place. In danger, failure, suffering, she cheered on with her unchanging smile, still looking forth to victory, as free from doubt, as far from guile. Stern men pursued the work of death, no war cry raised, no flag unfurled. They laid the mine whose nitric breath should blow the tyrant from the world. Dark warfare, oh, how pitiless. What else for them? No right of speech, no right of meeting for redress, no right the rights of man to teach. How plead their cause in burning words? How armed in just rebellion rise? Where gleam a million servile swords, where prowl for prey a million spies, to counsel, organise, sustain, to plan, escape, to lead, attack. Her steady hand and luminous brain were onward, ever, never back. Her voice was like a holy bell, calling to highest sacrifice. When black disaster heaviest fell, she stood, all smiles, to pay the price. Baffled surprise and bold escape, endurance long at last are o'er. The monster's jaw, insatiate gape, whose cry for blood is ever more. The hunters close around her path. Her forfeit life is in its hands. She neither bends before their wrath, nor braves her captors' hireling bands. She meets her fate's arenas still, above all earthly hopes and fears. If once her eyes the teardrops fill, her mother's grief unlocks the tears. The mockery of trial came, and followed swift the doom of words, but ignominy, woe and shame were far from her dungeon tomb. Her spiritual companions there held spiritual companions there, a light which others could not see, shone in her heart, and everywhere to die was only to be free. 6 days, no friendly face came near, no sister's clinging arm, no word from all the loved ones reached her ear. Her mother's voice no more was heard. 6 days the weeping mother sought to see her sentenced child. In vain their eyes ne'er meet, till she was brought forth in the daylight to be slain. She stood beneath the felon rope, her beauty fell the hangman's hand, but steadfast in a lifelong hope, she only saw the promised land. The promised land of truth and right, the holy cause of freedom won. She only saw the far-off light and heard the people marching on. She stood, her cheek rose-lighted still, a moment calm and iron-willed, and then all of her which power could kill was mercilessly crushed and killed. The scaffold had its radiant prey. The despot's minions breathed secure. The proud and haughty went their way, spurning the dead so young and pure. But souls like hers survived the fate which tyrants in their might decree, and ever live to animate the nations struggling to be free. Purged of the dross of earth, the fire of one great spirit's holocaust, will thousands wake to patriot ire, will raise to life a patriot host. That's that. It is a pretty powerful poem, yeah. Well, you got something there for us now? Do you want this? No? Okay.
What about that?
I got ginger tea.
You got ginger tea? I've got coconut water.
Deserting you. She's back. Okay. Come back to Bundarra.
Come back to Bundarra by Laura Cornock. Okay.
meditating in my garden. 'Tis needful to sit and weave a dream in the calm life of my garden, meditating on people I have seen, feeling their presence around me. Their influence on my thoughts is to gladden. The twittering birds like a blissful theme, soothing my scattered mind. The stillness of a peaceful scene is a bitter approach to life. A better approach to life, I find, with thought of people to guide. Some people are but a counterpart, swimming in my stream of life, who are a soother to my heart. Others jolt and bump me from my calm, so that I need to reconcile my theme. There is then light and shadow of each day, matching people in a way. They mirror for me in contemplation and become some consolation. Even they who cloud a sunny day. 'Tis all I ask for this day's dream, where beauty soothed and calmed me, that the people whom I have seen and those whom I've yet to see are helped as I across life's stream. My inner thoughts come uppermost, and I see me as I am, quietly here with mine inner host, who moulds me to the plan that is to live with others in the love for life's span.
You know, when I picked that book up, I thought, I bet she does that one. And you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, meditating in the garden, yeah.
I love the garden.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, me too. I like the stuff in the garden that you eat. I like raspberries.
I love gardening. Yeah, raspberries are good.
Well, the next one I've got from Henry Parks, or A. Wanderer, in The Beauteous Terrorist, is Bounding O'er the Summer Sea. It's a little quickie. Bounding o'er the summer sea, breezes blow, happy thoughts and fancy free, come and go, happy thoughts of love's surprise, breezes blow, fancies of the loved one's eyes, beaming so, bounding like a joyous sprite through the foam, like a bird before the night, winging home. Will they meet us, child and wife, bud and rose? He who counts the sand of life only knows.
Beautiful.
And then the next one I've got is another short one here called Trust. And then you can do the next one. Yeah. Trust. Thou knowest, O Lord of life, how few the victors are, who strive and stumble in the strife. Thou seest, though from afar. Thou seest the tears in sorrow shed, though lost to mortal sight. Thou seest the ways the wanderers tread, though in the darkest night. That's it. Yeah.
sunny morning's walk. And she wrote this in 1967.
Cool.
Cool.
Before I was born even. Make it 55 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 actually.
My heart sings to hear a bird. Start again. My heart sings to hear a bird on the wing, and I hear singing in the branches of the trees. I walk by the creek and hear the water sing. It seems to say, we have promise of lovely spring. Standing on a rock, I watch the water flow, slipping away on the long run inland, gushing and gurgling over stones to go into a quiet pool, shining and cool. Now it is at peace, resting in release of the urge to flow beneath the steep banks. The smooth water surface is rippled by a breeze. The closely watching, my eyes feel drifting, and I walk away from the song of water in the creek. Then all around me are tree-scattered hills. They are rounded in shape with no high peak. Solid against a blue sky and great white clouds, Australia has vastness and a sense of greatness. An ancient land as seen in scattered granite rocks and worn old hills which have a spirit timeless. A delightful walk, but this land mocks. Primitive man for thousands of years kept this land in natural beauty. But English man learns as man governs that he has made change. There is here a spirit strange.
It's lovely. Yeah. All right, the next one I've got here is Solitude. This is really lovely. I enjoyed reading this the first time. Solitude. Where the mocking lyrebird calls to its mate among the falls of the mountain streams that play each adown its tortuous way, when the dewy fingered even veils the narrowed glimpse of heaven, where the morning reillumes gullies full of ferny plumes, and a woof of radiance weaves through high-hanging vaults of leaves. There, mid giant turpentines, groups of climbing clustering vines, rocks that stand like sentinels guarding nature's citadels, lowly flowering shrubs that grace with their beauty all the place. There I love to wander lonely, with my dog companion only. There indulge unworldly moods in the mountain solitudes, far from the gilded strife of our boasted social life, contemplating spirit-free the majestic company grandly marching through the ages, heroes, martyrs, bards and sages, they who bravely suffered long by their struggles waxing strong for the freedom of the mind, for the rights of humankind. Oh, for some awakening cause where we face eternal laws, where we dare not turn aside, where the souls of men are tried. Something of the nobler strife, which consumes the dross of life, to unite a truer aim, to exalt a loftier fame, leave behind the bats and bulls, leave the races in the stalls, leave the cards forever shuffled, leave the yacht on seas unruffled, leave the haunts of pampered ease, leave your dull festivities, better far the savage glen, fitter school for earnest men. Yeah. Go and get in the bush. I've read a few like that. Get out of this city in the bush. I was a bit like get do nothing zoo. Get out of the zoo. Yeah. Have I got another one? Yeah, I do. The martyr tree. This one is addressed to a turpentine tree on the Blue Mountains, and the bushfire had burnt a hole through its giant trunk, large enough to admit the passage of a man, yet it was flourishing in growth and foliage. And still it oh, here we go, yeah, growth and foliage, here we go. The martyr tree. Right through its heart, the fire's red teeth had gnawn and torn their cinderous way. The sap had mounted from beneath its tortured ribs to bind and stay. And there the grand old tree remains, in garniture of glistening leaves, rejoicing in the winds and rains, but oh, the past never grieves. And still it rears its martyr form, and still it wears its crown of green, and still it braves the thunderstorm, though through its heart the fire has been. Now, as I'm reading this, I'm like having flashbacks to being in a Blue Mountains and actually walking up to that tree and walking into that tree and walking through that tree that he's actually talking about. It's still alive.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's just like, yeah, I was just like, I'm just having these flashbacks there. I'm just like, I've been in that friggin' tree that dude's written about. It's like, oh, and there's so many people out there who's been up the Blue Mountains and have been through that tree.
There you go.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But that is so cool. Yeah.
I have to go.
You have to. Yeah. And something in Katoomba somewhere like that. Okay. Some one of those places. Yeah. Around there. Yeah. It means you have to get to Sydney. Like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, well. Not really, actually. No, just going from Orange that way, and then you can, you don't have to go there. Yeah. They've got cherries there. Doesn't make any sense. That happens too. But no oranges.
They've got an organic shop there with oranges. And
they've just renamed the mountain there, I think, Canobolas, or they're going to rename it. And give it back its proper original name. All right. Life on the mountains is pretty long, so I'll get you to read one more. You got one more, two more, one more? One more, okay. Alright.
Old Australian platypus.
Oh, cool.
Platypus, you are a queer.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, LGBTQI.
You are a queer. it is. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but this doesn't mean that like it does other like platypuses of the same gender.
Not queer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
I was going to
Start again.
Yeah, okay, start again. Platypus, you are a queer, wee creature, floating like a stick upon the water of our creek. For that is your camouflage feature. Ever quietly we watch to find you there. Your wet, broad, flat bill is shining in the sun. The water ripples, you are gone. As we stare, oh, you are a rare, timid little fellow. We saw you. Then like a stone, you sank. Your comfy, warm home is a deep, dark burrow beneath the northern reed bank of the creek. Your holes are there if we seek. Now you remain under, away from danger, while we watch and wait for you here on the bank. Once, two of you were there on a log in the sun as we crept quietly down to the creek, gambolling and frolicking. You were having fun. Animals you are, but a bit of a freak. You lay eggs, your young you suckle. You have rich brown oily fur, and with webbed feet you paddle. These once quiet inland creeks of Australia were your home of peace for years gone by. Only Aboriginals with primitive paraphilia spared fish for their tea. You watched them try. You saw the wallaby, possum and kangaroo drink from these lovely waterholes they came to enjoy, the fresh, cool water, or to gaze at the brink. All this changed since white men came. New strange animals now drink at this hole. His horses, cattle or sheep, and untamed rabbits or foxes. What care did he for your peaceful home? No caring for the ecology of these creeks, where you need sustenance to rear your young, the ability to live, the home platypus seeks. The first settlers blasted or nettled. The first settlers blasted or netted the creeks, taking many fish for you, for your fur, through your though you dive and swim like a fish, you freaks. You must come to surface to breathe fresh air. When netting fish traps were sunk into brown waters, you were caught deep down. Of course you drowned. In that trap, easy prey for the poacher. Today, quiet platypus, you are strictly protected. No one dare take you or desire to kill. We are proud, old Australian, to have you selected, a rare speciality of nature's will. It is a thrill to see the thick brown stick, which may be your small, furry body with long, flat tail, floating on the waterhole of Abington Creek.
Wow. Cool, that's a good selection. That's lovely. Now, my newest released book is called Jane Bung's Peaceful Protest in Nimbin, and Jane Bung is the platypus.
Yeah.
And
it's
thank you.
your book.
It's just over there, and then I've got 3 other books as well. I've got Love, just here, there it is. Love and Lust in Nimbin. I've got Love in Nimbin, Lust in Nimbin, Poetry to End Prohibition, and Jane Bung's Peaceful Protest in England, Jane Bung being the Bundarra word for platypus. And they're available on Amazon as Kindle ebooks and also as buyable as a paperback. So yeah, get them, and they've even got page numbers. Wow, fantastic. What else is happening? Well, on the 15th and 16th of August here, we've got the heat of the Gwydir heat of the Australian Poetry Slam. On the 15th, which is the Tuesday night at 6:30, we've got the word workshop about Poetry Slam by the special guest Poetry Slam person who's coming up, slam poet who's coming up to teach. And then the next night we've got the Gwydir heat of the Australian Poetry Slam. On the 22nd of July, Fiore Musicale, the Armadale Chamber Choir, is coming back to the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday the 22nd of July with Love and Nature, a selection of 20th century European composers including Elgard and I think Williams, I don't know, a few other people like that, doing really beautiful music, chorale sort of chamber music. There'll be about 30 plus singers in a big arch there, plus probably about 5-piece little chamber orchestra in the middle, in this awesome venue that has the best acoustics in all of the what's called New England area, because there's no other such fantastic venues as the Arcadia Theatre, home to the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame, and Seahorse Medicine Cafe, the only place where you can get 7 root soup, or probably even 8 or 9 root, we worked out, might be tomorrow. You can also get yummy Thai pumpkin soup, that was today's special, and 7 root soup, but tomorrow it's going to be 9 root soup, I think. Yeah.
Couple more roots.
2 more roots. Yeah, I'm going to add potato and sweet potato, maybe. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move the show on. Was there anything else I need to advertise? The market on Saturday mornings. That's always very good. Every Saturday morning we've got the Gwydir market here with some wonderful crafty people. And hopefully, if there's any farmers out there, you're welcome to come and bring your stuff in, and we could sell it for you, and then it would be a farmer's market too. Yeah. Hey, Life in the Mountains is the next one. Here we've got by Henry Parks, or A. Wanderer. Life in the Mountains. Listen to the blustering rain beating on the window pane, stamping with hobgoblin tread on the iron roof overhead. Coursing through the forest wild, through trees in gloom uppiled, dashing, splashing down the gully, bent on desolation fully. How it drenches, drives and pours, what a night for out of doors. Is not this my princess grand? Cottage life on mountain land, yet the situation dearie might be far less snug and cheery. See, before the blazing logs, how untroubled sleep the dogs, and how happy pussy purrs, sitting on her queenly furs. What care for they wind and rain, while the hearth rugs their domain? And with fancy lighted look you are bending o'er your book, only raising those soft eyes when you deign to drop a replies. Contradictions, phrased so mildly, to my comments scattered wildly, fairer picture who could paint than my little household saint. Let the tempest rage outside. You and I are satisfied to be safely housed together, independent of the weather, independent of the haughty, hectoring world that is so naughty, and have no visions pleasant of the playful, lyre-tailed pheasant. As some neighbour bird he mocks down among the gully rocks in the evenings cool and graceful, when the storm and all its hateful gusts and fury are forgotten, and rambles where the rotten trees of ancient giant mould, felled by ruthless storm of old, in their robes of golden moss, stretch their shattered limbs across runlets of sweet water, purling through the ferns in beauty, curling down 400 feet or more from our mountain cottage door, and ramblings on the ranges where wild nature aspect changes every step we onward take. Through the tangled flowery brake, every step we press the sweet woof of flowers beneath our feet. Shapes dissolve and colours mingle, wooded slope to rocky dingle. Rocky dingle. How's your rocky dingle? Okay. Trees by tempest tossed and torn, long ere living man was born, standing still on steadfast root, currant bushes gemmed with fruit, soft clematis forming bowers with its wreaths of pearly flowers, and the waratahs in state with their queenly heads elate, and their flamy blood-red crowns, and their stiff frilled emerald gowns, and Australia's Christmas trees budding in the wooing breeze, and the robins and the thrushes flitting through the fragrant bushes. And as we still ramble onward, where the forest opens sunward, where the mountain grasses spread, carpet fit for queen to tread, and the mountain stream forever runs impatient for the river, with the brightest of bright faces into bowery hiding places, out again like child that knows he is loved where'er he goes, in cascades of crystal leaping, ever glad its course keeping. What a world of joyous life you remember, don't you, wife? Scenes of beauty, peace and love, with the blue still heaven above. Pleasant rambles, days of light, yes, but how it rains tonight. And that's it. Yes, but how it rains tonight. One more?
I do.
Okay, because I don't think it's good to do an epitaph right now. It's like this.
Okay. Alright, we've got autumn colours. The autumn days have come in fast, since we had that frost on Saturday last. They are touching the leaves of English trees with beauty of colour, and one agrees 'tis their nature come a frost of and cooler days, after that very light rain and pleasure in twain. A tall lone poplar beyond our gate is dressed in gold just of late, The charm is enhanced by green at the base, and we can hope the wind will not give chase to this fair beauty, gold, colour I love, with green oaks beyond and blue sky above. 2 oaks I raised from little acorns have coloured leaves of browns, tawns, russet, yet gold and green at base. They are my joy, for their height to sky. I appraise their growth as I pass by. They have grown great in consul shape. Fruit trees have changed to reds and yellows. They produce their crop ripe and mellow. They soon shall be stripped of this beauty and retire to rest from summer duty, till another spring of floral joy, their lovely forerunner of summer employ. In my garden beds the bright chrysanthemums flaunt their colour against green lawns. The brightest gold is here, and one sees the flowers have charm as well as trees, which grows skyward against the blue. These colours of autumn are of wonderful hue. Dry summer days were hot and long, and autumn displays a colourful throng. Winter is nigh, rain passed us by, but it is now too late to bring growth, until another spring, another summer, to the longer dry spell, seasons surrender.
Lovely. Awesome. Okay, well I got just 3 more little ones to go. So epitaph. This is for someone who just passed away. Anyone? Yeah. My friend Vincent went around to someone's place yesterday to find them, get them some wood or something, and with the dogs were barking, and he called the police and he passed away. So an epitaph. Softly rests his fevered brow. Earth can give no more nor less. All that we remember now is his life of gentleness. Yep. And so, and then, okay, at sea. At sea. So these are all from the Beauteous Terrorist under poems by A. Wanderer, a pseudonym of Sir Henry Parkes, 5-time Premier of the Colony of New South Wales. At sea. As sadly we are thinking of some it will still light, our beauteous southern crosses sinking adown the southern night. Resplendent constellation, Australia's chosen sign, when first the yearnings of a nation throbbed through this land of mine. How fondly will they greet thee, the loved ones left behind, to think our weary eyes still meet thee with thoughts of them half blind. The tropics' golden splendour are gone like starry dreams, and onward Ursa Major renders for us his long-lost beams. The winter-robed Pacific, deep surging on the Horn, the midnight icebergs gleam terrific, are things in memory born. But other thoughts we're thinking, cross of our southern night, our hearts, Australian, still are sinking with thy retiring light. Now, while I'm just getting to the last page, just give this a thumbs up, hit the thumbs up button and give it a thumbs or a heart or whatever, and leave a comment like, I like this is good. Yeah. Or give me an idea of who you'd like to hear me read, and hear Skye read too, which is famous Australian poets do you want to hear us chill out and do on a Chillin Tuesday. We haven't done the weather tonight either, but that's all right. Yeah. Would you like to be the weather girl?
The weather girl.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Skye's going to be, because you've got the right name. I'm Thundercloud, you're Skye, we can do the weather together. Yeah, we can make the weather. All right, okay. Here we go. Well, I'll do the last one. Here we go. This is called The Wanderer. Somewhere, Father, we shall find resting place for weary feet, tender hearts and faces kind. Somewhere, Father, we shall meet. Bitter smites in blinding rain, winds how cruelly they blow. But the spring will come again, dearest Father, grieve not so. Well, there you go. What's the temperature, Skye?
Okay, so it's 0.1.
0.1.
Feels like minus 2.9.
Oh, I bet we're colder than you.
And overnight, minus 3.
That makes us tough, doesn't it? Yeah, I just keep saying that over and over again, and it just becomes true. Yeah.
It's all in the mind.
Yeah. But a lie repeated becomes the truth. It's not a lie, it's the truth. Yeah. All right. Sun rises at 6:50 a.m. Sun sets at 5:01 p.m. Well, that's already gone because it's already set in the past. Yeah, set.
It's all set in the past.
Yeah, it is. Set doesn't change. It's one of those verbs that's just set as it is.
Yeah.
Set, and set. Set. You set it in the present. You set it in the past, and you will set it in the future. But not only that, set's a fantastic word. Set is the word with the most meanings in the entire English language.
Really?
It's my favourite word. Because you can have a set of things. Yeah. You got a nice set of like crystal jugs.
Yes.
Yeah. Crystal jugs. Yeah. Yeah. You've got a couple of nice set of cheeks you got there, and nice set of lips, and you set your jelly.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You can play a set of tennis.
True.
Yeah. You can set something down onto it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Are you set to go?
Yeah.
Ready, set, go?
Yeah. Ready, set, go.
That's right.
That's
The set off. You can set up something. Yep. Yep. So many things you can set. I like the jelly.
Yeah.
You're setting jelly.
Yeah.
The sun sets.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like jelly doesn't go hard like jelly. Does it? No.
If it's made of a gaga, I don't mind.
But like, think about the sunset. Like, does that like mean you got like 5 suns in a row, and that's like a set of suns? No, it doesn't. Like, I got 3 suns. That's a set of suns.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just like telling you about set. All right. Well, now you've learned about set. We've finished chilling on a Chillin Tuesday, and what's it going to be tomorrow? How cold's it going to be? It's going to be 12.
Maximum 12.
And it's going to get down to how cold overnight?
-3.
-3. It already feels like -2.9. So I've only got like 0.1 of a degree, and we'll be down there. But they're saying it's going to feel like -9 sometime. Wow. And the wind?
What's the wind doing?
Blowing. Well, see, they're predicting a bit of rain on Thursday, 0 to 10, and 5 to 10 on Friday. So there is a good possibility that we could get some rain up here.
Okay.
Just fingers crossed. They're not saying
Right.
rain, they're just saying showers and frost. But anyway.
No snow?
No.
No.
No. No, well that's, I mean,
That's all right.
I'm hoping for snow.
Yeah.
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 They say rain, but I want snow. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us on Chillin Tuesday. Don't forget our fantastic events. Check them out on our Facebook page, Australian Poetry Hall of Fame, -Gyra. If it hasn't got -Gyra at the end of it, it's the old one and it's not active. It's the one that was like the temporary one when I got hacked. Otherwise, check out the website australianpoetryhalloffame.com.au and check out my books, Jane Bunk's Peaceful Protest in Nimbin, Love in Nimbin, Lust in Nimbin, and Poetry and Prohibition on Amazon as well. And don't forget to come here for the Australian Poetry Slam on the 15th and the 16th of August.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the New South Wales Bush Poetry Championship on the 11th of November.
Yeah.
11th of the 11th.
Yeah,
That's a
really
good
good.
number. Yeah. It's my
Yeah.
Nana's birthday too.
Oh.
All right. Lots of love. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
And okay. Yeah. Slap me. Yeah. See you later.
See ya.